What's up guys, this is your boy Rusian with another Raid Shadow Legends video. And today we're going to be taking a look at a couple of things. One of them is the Hell Hades competition. We're going to take a look, pretty much like some advice on the game, on the competition. Best way to actually go by if you really want to score high, but in the end of the day, just try to have fun, okay? So, one of the main things we need to taking a look in this competition is it has to do with the new fusion and the new collab with Alice in the Wonderland. And the reason for that is this will be starting on the 8th of this month, but the competition itself doesn't start until the 10th. Now, take with a grain of salt my opinion, and I could be wrong. I feel Razo will actually be a free champion. And I'm not talking about login champion. I'm talking about free to all players champion, just like they done to Ninja. And why do I think that? Basically, as you can pretty much see it hinted, you're gonna have like a new skin for him. But Razo happened a long time ago, like 3 years or so ago. So not many players actually have it. So the only way for them to actually make money with, a new skin would probably be just, oops. Anyway, it would be, give this champion to everybody. All right. Sorry, one of my lights went off. Anyway, so this is one of the things I feel gonna happen. So if you start on the 10th and legendary champions are not allowed, you may not be able to get this champion as your starting champion. Okay? So, this being said, who should be your actual starting champion? Which one should be the one you pick? Now, there's a couple of ways to look at it. Okay? I was thinking really a lot about it. So, most content creators, I'll say 19 out of 20 will be picking Kyle. Now, Kyle, very solid champion. Pretty decent nuker for one. And he's also a poisoner. So, a lot of the content that you're going to be clearing up, you will need a good poisoner. And you don't know if you're going to be able to pull a poisoner, right? So, this dude is great. Now, if you look at the clan boss, he's amazing. A lot of other parts of content, he's amazing, but he's not the best in campaign. And I will explain my argument. So, campaign also gives you a lot of points, right? The most if you're one of the first ones to clear. For campaign, I actually would bid a lot higher on El Hain. Now, let me just explain. My main account, I cleared with El Hain at 60 when I was still kind of like level 60 or something. I cleared the whole campaign with El Hain and War Maiden. And War Maiden was level 50. Okay? So El Hain is pretty strong. She hits a lot harder. And there is the argument that Butkel will cause more damage over time because of poisons. But the only problem with that is when you go in some stages against champions that can cleanse, those poisons are not doing anything. And El Hain being able to hit hard in the most if she's oops, I forgot. If she's in Bloodthirst or anything that will get her if she's on Lifesteal or Bloodthirst, she'll be getting a lot of the energy back, so you don't have to worry so much about a healer. So El Hain will be better, but when you go to clan boss, she's really not that great. All right, so now the other option you also have, also El Hain, and it's just like the next option, allows you to have a pretty good amount of decent champions to help her on faction wars. You have Apothecary, you have Harris, Avenger hits pretty decent. So you have a lot of support if you're trying to clear, faction wars. because that's also points. Like, I'm talking about competition. But also, if you're a free to play, you have to think about those things because the more you clear anything, be campaign, be events, pretty much anything, you will be getting more resources. You'll be getting shards, etc. So she's a solid option. Now the third one will be from Sacred Order, and it's Ato. So the thing about Ato, I don't like playing with her to be honest. But she does come with increased attack, increased defense, and also with weaken. So you can argue that she's a very solid option. Okay, I wouldn't go against someone that picks her, but I do think she goes number 3. The other thing is her faction wars is really solid. She has really decent champions, not just on rare. I usually focus on rare in the most in the beginning because you don't. If you get an epic, it's lucky, and you don't know who you're gonna get. But she has pretty decent support. Okay, so Aethel, not a bad choice, will help you clear a lot. Now, the next thing is, I feel it's very important, and it has to do with missions, arbiter missions. Now, as see, I already cleared a lot of that. Now, this first part, right, when you go and you have to clear just Sar. This game cheats. I have never been able, even when I was trying to speedrun this thing, and I pretty much speedrun everything but that fusion. So after running multiple accounts, and I'm talking about over a dozen accounts for each place, I realized that the game will not allow me until around day 6. Now, when I say day 6, take it with a gram of salt as well, because all my accounts I get to around the same level on day 6. So it could be level tied, or it could be, and say it waits for the potion keeps to close before it actually allows you to be able to get just Sar, right? Could be a lot of things, but just keep in mind, until close to the end of the first week, you will not be able to get just Sar. Okay, just live with that. And the reason why I say that is when you're coming here to the fusion, right, you really should be picking which one of the 4 champions to use the fusion that you want to have for last. Now, it's random. You don't know when they're going to come. But you have some control over it. Because what happens is, the game will allow you to get the 3 first ones, right? Doesn't matter which ones they are. So let me say, in any point, I get Diabolist, okay, or War Maiden, because War Maiden is, I believe, 9, level 9 campaign, and stage 9, and Diabolist stage 12. You want Diabolist to be the last. So how do you control that? Well, if you get Diabolist first, use her to feed a champion. That's it. Plain and simple. Use her to feed someone and go for whatever the other one. So her being the last, you will be getting to a point that you just have to level food champions, and you want to level stage 12, 12-3, so you can get also a lot of silver. So what do? Well, she's your last one, so you just lab on 12, and if she appears, good for you. So that will maximize your XP and energy. That's all I have to tell you. So avoid everything else. The same thing gonna be happening on top. When you have Templar, you have those other champions. If you're really going for them, usually try to leave last the one that it's on the higher levels. Okay, good. Next. So this will allow you to go on missions and try to get Arbiter. It's a very tall order, okay, for a free-to-play in general. Some people don't get for like at least 6 months to a year. So we're talking about 3 months. Now, is that possible? Yes, a lot of creators did. I kind of had some issues the last 2 months of the competition, so I couldn't dedicate that much time. And That's why it lacked so much and I wasn't able to get her. Okay, but if you really want to go for, one of the things you have to keep in mind is arena. So as Simon says, as Simon said, you do need to be picking cheeky fights, okay? When you get to gold, it's almost impossible, in the most if you have like a few weeks old account and not being able to use Lego. So you're going to have every now and then a fight where you have one champion level 50 or level 40. People just throw in there, you know, so they don't lose so fast the rank, but so they can fluctuate around the ranks, which is great. So you do that, just pick up those fights every 15 minutes or so if you have time. Refresh, try to see if there's any fights. If not, just go back next. It's rough, but will allow you to go up, and by going up, you will be able to get enough shields, medals, to be able to open your hall, right? Because the Great Hall, you're gonna have to have a few level 10 accuracies. Or I would say go for accuracy, but you do whatever you want. You do have to pick one affinity bonus and just go with it. Yes, at some point you're gonna have to get level 2 or level 1 on all attack ones. That's fine. It's for arbiter missions. So just do it. But besides for that, focus in one, get as much as you can, get as high as you can, and then go to the next ones. Okay. All right. Next things to focus. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you focus on clan boss. Try to build a clan boss team because you will be getting a lot of resource from there. Try to do as much faction wars, even if that's the lowest that you can go. You can only get to level 3, get to level 3. Okay? And run as many as you can because that will give you resources for the forge. In the most of the beginning, if you get even like a 4-star armor, equipment in general, it's gonna be good for you. We're gonna be lucky enough right now that we're gonna be having pinpoint, it seems, and we're gonna have the event dungeon open, so it will help a lot of people. Now, pinpoint for new players or new accounts, kind of like sometimes good, sometimes not so much. You do want life steal for the most part, but you will use, you know, hopefully you're gonna use that equipment. I will say at some point you're gonna be able to do Hydra, but it's very hard to tell what champion's gonna have. So it's something you don't have as much control. My champions were decent. I didn't get a decent like kind of champions I would need to be able to even get up on Hydra until I think like the last day of the competition. So you know, it's some people will do well. Doom Tower, definitely try to build a team. There's some champions that will really carry you all the way up. To be honest, a couple of mentions. Those are champions that I still use on my free-to-play account. My main free-to-play account, I should say. And one of them, let me look for him. He's not, I don't have him. And Lodric, pretty solid. Just so you guys know, keep in mind, good poisoner. Where's that avatar? Well, one of the two. Anywho, so I am looking for... I guess he's not Sacred Order. Bannerlord, sorry. Alright, so keep in mind, keep looking for Discard. Discard, this dude can clear so much even by himself. Okay? Because he got a decreased defense on A1, he got a nice provoke and shield on A2, and he got increased defense and increased attack. Now, I ran him with... let me take a look in the gear. Sorry, I'm recording. That's the second time I record this video because My camera just decided not to record. So I'm sorry. Apologize. I really apologize. So I ran him, and I feel that was the best set for him, and it was stun. So stun set, this dude just pretty much kept everybody really low. Was able to pretty much destroy everything. Carry me on the Doom Tower, pretty high, pretty fast. Definitely solid to put on him. Now, I did change eventually to Life Steal, and that was mostly because Scarab King, he was pretty much clearing by himself, but he needed to be able to heal. So, you're gonna change a lot of times gear in the most of the beginning for those champions. So, yeah, Lifesteal gear and speed gear, really focus on that. You're going to be using a lot of it. I think that's it, guys. So let me know if you have any questions. What do you think? Are you going to participate on this competition? Let me know in the comments. Very excited to be back. Thank you all for still being here. And as always, I'll see you in the game.